Hello fellow old schoolers. We're continuing to just throwing opponents at my robot deck Skynet. This time it's the Counterburn setup, just to really stress test every bolt and microchip of Skynet's construction here. So I imagine we've just plugged the AI and just thrown it in to the multiverse, and it's coming up against various tournament opponents here, just to see how the deck plays out and how it functions against various archetypes. Let's go over Counterburn here. What we see is a primarily blue and red deck. Sometimes Counterburn splashes black for Mind Twist and Demonic Tutor, but this one doesn't, and that makes room for additional cards. We also see that he doesn't have any Moxen. Usually you'd play with the uncolor Moxen, the red and the blue Mox and the black Lotus, but he doesn't have access to that. He does have an Ancestor Recall and Time Walk, and then for all that extra room he has, he's put in Recall, 2 Power Sinks, and the creature base is 4 Flying Men, 4 Serendip Freets, and he tops that curve out into a Serendip Djinn. And I believe that's a new tech on the Counterburn scene. It's a whole science in itself, but I think that's like a 2021 evolution of it, where you use those suicide Djinns just to finish the game off. He is a big puppy, being 5'6" and flying, but he does require that you sacrifice lands into him. And what immediately springs to mind here is that this guy plays with 3 main deck Blood Moons, and that will be, I suppose, rather annoying against Skynet, because usually I only have dual lands and special lands, so it will kind of neuter them. But on the other hand, I don't mind it that much, because most of my creatures, or all my creatures, are colorless. So are the Ices, and there's just a bunch of artifacts here. So I do believe he'll sideboard them out after round number 1, and then put in those darn Energy Fluxen, because unlike the deck that we saw in the previous matchup with Skynet, this deck doesn't use very many artifacts himself, and that makes it possible for him to utilize those Energy Fluxen against artifact decks. I imagine he will take in the Shatters as well. And a Control Magic perhaps. So he'll have plenty of sideboard options here against me. So in a way, I'm more fearful of him after sideboard than before sideboard. He also has that mana drain and the 4 counter spells, so he can take the control route if needs be. If he gets ahead in cards, that will spell trouble, as he has the Ancestor Recall and Brain Geyser, and can then just start to counter my key cards, and then he will try to punch me down with all those fast creatures, and then 12 burn spells and lightning bolts, chain lightnings, and sonic blasts, and even a fireball as a 13th burn spell, just to really rush the Skynet down. And he also has the recall to bring in additional burn spells if needs be. And as the obligatory Chaos Orb and Library of Alexandria, obviously, I think almost all people that have access to them in old school will utilize those 2 cards, because they're just that good at being very versatile, and really providing some bang for the buck. So that's about it. We will take a minute to go over my tournament brew, Skynet. Now, I went over this brew 2 videos ago when it was up against the deck, so I won't go into too much detail here, but suffice to say, Skynet is a rather new brew of mine that I'm tweaking out to be tournament ready here, and what better way to do that than to just let it go into fisticuffs against the usual tier 1 suspects of the scene. I mean, if it can go toe-to-toe with them, I suppose it will be battle ready and battle hardened by that. So Skynet has usually 2 gears to shift between. Either it's a Robo-Geddon deck with robots and Armageddons, just to clear out the mana base, and then it has access to artifact mana instead, and then it can use those mid-range creatures just to punch the other guy down, just overrun him with Terminators, so to speak. So in essence it'll function a bit like Armageddon, but in a robot shell instead. but the other gear is a focused robot deck. In this iteration, the main deck is a focused robot deck, and the sideboard option makes it possible to turn it into Robogeddon. What I mean by a focused robot deck is that it doesn't have these Armageddons. Instead, it makes use of more animate deaths to bring the robots back in, and also there are also those copy artifacts. So in essence, you'll just get some mana out early, defend yourself with your counter magic and the removal. Try to get control with the icy manipulators as well over attacking creatures. At some point, you'll have enough mana to bring out the first Terminators. Then you'll copy the Terminators, mass produce them. If they get destroyed, they'll rise. The machines will rise back up. Yeah, very thematic, as like the movie. So really, just imagine the Terminator coming out of the burning vehicles in a skeletal form. Maybe that's just me, but I find it kind of fitting here. Anyway, that is the setup here. It is a mid-range deck where we'll try to just overrun the other side by producing more and more robots, copying them, animating them if they get removed, shooting with the Triskelions. They have those inbuilt guns, and that's about it. Really applying the pressure here. It is fully powered, and it makes use of counter spells as well. This deck picture is a bit off because there's actually 3 counter spells in this particular version of Skynet. I had a watcher here that told me that there was only 59 cards here. So whoops. So yeah, this iteration has 3 counter spells and 1 mana drain. That's how it works. Only a single Source to Plowshares, but as we see in the sideboard, it can bring reinforcements in form of those Source to Plowshares. In mirror matchups and matchups against aggro and stuff like that, we can make use of those old Sages of Latnam as well. But that's a discussion for another matchup. This one is Skynet coming up against the aggressive UR Counterburn. Let's get ready to rock. And we have the Counterburn Wizard on the right on that Source to Plowshare playmat, and myself on Skynet on the left. We can see the hand here: flying men and a recall, and a factory, strip mines, city of brass, and a mountain and an island. Skynet starting off with Disenchant, Mana Drain, and Triskelion, 2 Tundras, Mrs. Workshop, and a Mox Sapphire here. So both players pretty mana fixed. Skynet on the play. So I can actually counter straight from the get-go, though I don't have any counter spell. There's the Flying Men coming out of that island, swinging his sword menacingly. Another Tundra out of Skynet. Nothing out of it yet. Need a lot of mana to get those robots going. Just trying to stay hidden here, but the Flying Man finds me. He pokes me for 1. There's the Workshop though. And there's the Trisk. First Terminator coming out. The Workshop makes it possible to play them pretty early on, as they provide 3 colorless mana. It's a nice factory production facility here. So how will UR Counterburn react? Attacking with the Flying Men. And the Terminator shoots the Flying Men out of the sky here. As a mountain coming out of UR Counterburn. The Triskelion is a 3/3 at this point, having lost 1 because of that. Basically strip mining stuff. Oh, getting rid of the Workshop. Good play. Just strip mining Skynet's prized factory here. Now we only have that single Triskelion. Oh, but now we have 2 because we can copy it. Only need 1 out, and then we have the blueprint, and Skynet can get the production going. So we have another 4/4 Triskelion full on with counters. Now if I attack, he'll just block with his factory and then pump himself 3/3, but I'm fine with that. I'm okay with the trade because he only has 2 mana sources, so it'll set him back a bunch. Oh, I even have a Disenchant. How mean. I'll do that before block. So getting in for 3 here. First blood to Skynet. And You are Counterburn being down to a single island here, but he does have a mountain on hand, and we also saw a city of brass, so he's not actually mana starved. Okay, bolting the robot with his dying breath. The Terminator lets loose with the guns, shooting the other guy for 2. Now the copied robot gets in, the copy artifact gets in for 4. Passing the turn, nothing new out of Skynet though. Okay, another island. Show my hand here. It looks like I had a Triskelion, but I can't play it. I need another land drop. I still can't play it, but that's fine. Coming in again with the Terminator, we really need something out of the UR Counterburn. There's a library. Control magic would be nice. What do we have? Ooh, a Serendipity. Oh, I'm mana draining it though. That's mean. Now I can get in. I can actually get in for 4 and just shoot him. Another Triskelion. Oh, and I have the colorless mana from the mana drain. Yeah, just Terminator's just coming out of the woodwork, getting in for 4, then the Terminators can just shoot him down. Skynet takes the first match here. But as said in the deck tech, I do believe that UR Counterburn is better equipped against Skynet after sideboard here, and he will sideboard after only the first match here. He'll have access to his energy flux, and I imagine he's taking both energy fluxes and shatters in. I have likely invested in some force field technology in form of those, that city in a bottle. It's usually a nice one against UR Counterburn, because it makes it so that Arabian Night cards can't be played and all Arabian Night cards are destroyed, and Skynet doesn't have any Arabian Night cards apart from the library. Okay, oh nice here. Sol Ring into a Felverstone. Both sides have a Sol Ring actually. This is gonna be a quick game. Unless we can start to destroy each other's Sol Rings. Energy Flux, okay, that's even worse. So I'll take that back. This won't likely be a very quick game. This will put a dampener on everything. Energy Flux turn 2 here. Felverstone gets destroyed and the Sol Ring taps to pay for itself. Scrubling coming out. Though it does seem that attacking with the factory while he's tapped out, it does seem like UR Counterburn is a bit mana starved. There wasn't a second land drop. That's a Flying Men though. Only has that volcanic island going for him. But the energy flux just sits there and sucks out all the energy from the artifacts. Locking the Sol Rings on both sides down. Brutal card in this particular matchup. That's a Mox, won't live long. Attacking with the factory. You need a disenchant on that. Oh, okay, there's one. After his upkeep, I disenchanted, so he gets the pleasure of paying with his Sol Ring one more time. Okay, he comes flying in with the Flying Men here. Now a Chain Lightning to the dome of Skynet. Workshop coming down. At least I got rid of that energy flux. So, ooh, the Abyss here. Now, that will destroy all non-artifact creatures each upkeep. I have a single one in that deck. Kept it in. It's always a bit difficult what to take out against UR Counterburn, I think, because you'd usually take the disenchants out because he doesn't have that many artifacts. Ooh, another energy flux, but yeah, that's the main thing why you probably shouldn't take the disenchants out, because you need all the disenchants you can get just to stop those energy fluxen from ruining your day. Now attacking with the factory. I do think that Mox should be dead. Mox Sapphire. My Mox Sapphire. I'm cheating, I think. Or maybe it's tapped because... Okay, he's a Chain Lightning again. Maybe it's tapped because... Yeah, it should get destroyed by that energy flux. Oh, this is annoying. I'm paying for it. That's why the Sol Ring is paying for itself, and the double land is paying for the Sapphire. Okay, I'm not cheating. That's good. Paying my taxes here. Paying my dues. So we still have a workshop and a scrub land. So far, the factory is doing all the work. Can't get much of anything else out. Island here. I can put down Triskelions now. Just shoot with them. Do you have the mana? Oh, I'm not attacking here. I don't want to get my factory bolted. Library coming down, and he must have 7 cards in hand. So far he's been chain lightning me each turn in order not to discard, so that's good for UR Counterburn here. Does provide him additional mana, and it does provide him card draws. He'll likely use it in my end step. Okay, I'm trying to test if he has a bolt. He doesn't even have a bolt. That's amazing. Also amazing that he didn't actually draw with the library in response to me attacking. Maybe he doesn't have 7 cards in hand. He's untapping his Soaring. Why though? It will get destroyed in the upkeep. There's something he wants to play in his upkeep. Oh, it could be a Sonic Blast actually. Okay, keeps it tapped though. Okay, now he can draw. He couldn't draw before, he was down to 6 cards I imagine. Now he's at 7 cards and within library range. Time walking here. We'll provide him additional draws with that library. He's a bit of in a dilemma here. The only thing I can think of is if he's considering a Sonic Blasting my Triskelion. It will cost him a bunch though. 2 points of damage from the Sonic Blast and 3 from the Triskelion. I don't know what else it could be. Okay, he destroys it. That was what I anticipated. Chooses to Sonic, but he must not have a land in hand. I think he should try to draw. I mean, he can always... Yeah, okay. So he draws again here. He just needs a single mana source. Okay, 3 Volcanic Islands. He's mana fixed here. Now I can play it. But I mean, it's gonna hurt a lot, but he has no choice. Otherwise he'll be dead next turn. Factory and the Terminator will get in for 6, and then the Terminator will shoot him. So, needs to move fast here. He likely tried to dig for a Shatter as well. I imagine he's taking Shatters in. That would be far cheaper. I do get it. It's a dilemma here. It will cost him 5 points of life, but if he doesn't have a Shatter, he has to do it now. Yeah, Sonic Blasting it, I shoot him. So he goes down to 3 points of life here and is completely tapped out. So, okay, paying for the Moxen. I don't have anything in hand I wanna... Oh, I have a Terminator. Oh, I have a Factory and I can pop the other Factory, getting in for 3 here. Okay, Skynet takes a second game here. I do believe this is a best of 4, actually. So we will continue with a couple of bonus games here. Just to try to equalize, because, yeah, try to annul the luck of the draw here. So round number 3, still having sideboard cards. Ooh, I'm mulliganing down to 6 cards here. You are Counterburn on the play. Okay. The Flying Circus comes out here. Okay, Underground Sea, Mox Ruby, Time Walking. Workshop, Sushi, here we go. Flying Mane coming over for 1 point of damage. Though he could consider to blocking the Sushi and then bolting it. That's another viable way, but perhaps he has something to remove it with. Nope. Passing the turn to Skynet. The CPU starting up again. Sushi coming in. Punch in from the T800. And another one. Oh, that gets mana drained though. So a lot of colorless mana. Scrub Lane coming out of Skynet though. The turn isn't over yet. Oh, what? Oh yeah, he was asking me how I could have so many lane drops. It's because of the time walk. Okay, so 4 colorless mana to UR Counterburn here. I suppose you could Fireball now. Fireball the Terminator. Oh, place a free Chaos Orb. And an Energy Flux. Okay. Nasty stuff. Here comes the Flying Men. Sort of plowsharing it immediately. A bit of an aggressive move. I wonder if I have a Time Twister or something. Okay. City of Brass coming down. Another Flying Men. Okay, so we have to pay for the darn. Okay, the Mox pays for the half of it for the sushi. And then it dies. And Scrubland pays for the sushi as well. So coming in here, kind of forcing the Chaos Orb now. Yep, here it goes. Chaos Orbing the sushi. Let's see if it hits. Barely nicks it there at the corner. So the Terminator crumbles into dust. Now it's a turn of UR Counterburn, swinging in with the Flying Men here. Passing the turn, no Serenity Befrieds yet. But we immediately see he doesn't even have Moxen, so those Energy Fluxes are brutal in his deck. Now I'm playing a Sol Ring and a Trisk. Using the Workshop for that. He attacks, I shoot. The Terminator shoots down the Flying Men. So now we have to pay for the Sol Ring, it pays for itself, and we have to use all our mana to pay for that 3/3 Triskelion. It's the best we have. So attacking here, he bolts it immediately, and the Terminator shoots in response as the final revenge. And now a Flying Men coming in as a counterpunch from UR Counterburn. Oh, I need to tap that Sol Ring. Okay, good. So, robots are gone. What to do here? Now Swords to Plowsharing a single Flying Men. The thing is with those Flying Men, it might look odd that I'm using so much resources to get rid of them, but you can't have them pinging you too much because you'll get within burn range too fast. Ooh, there's an enemy dead on the Trisk. I think I drew into that, otherwise I would have preferred just to save the Swords to Plowshare and just animate the Terminator and shoot down the Flying Men with the animated Terminator. Ooh, a Shatter though. I shoot him again. There's always that. So, reincarnated Terminator just getting destroyed repeatedly here. Now, oh, there's a factory coming in now. Putting Skynet down to 16 points of life, blocking factory here. Another activation, coming in for 2. I block. And he shoots my factory, getting in for 2 again. Putting Skynet down to 14 points of life. A Mind Twist his hand. Shut on a Fireball. Oh, good picks, so good cards. Glad to get rid of them. But it's still no solution to that factory as a strip mine. Ouch. Should probably strip mine my workshop immediately. Or perhaps he's saving it for a factory? No, strip mining the workshop. I think that's the correct play. I'm really mana starved now. The Sol Ring is out of the picture. 3 mana left. There's a Mox. The Abyss. How on earth will that help? Won't help against the factory. I suppose just want to get it down before he draws into a counterspell. It is a good card against him. The Mox Dead is dead now. The Sol Ring needs to tap. Oh. Yeah. I forgot. So, too bad. Oxted is dead. I could have paid for it with a mana and itself, but That's how it goes. Getting in for 2 again. Putting Skynet down to 8 points of life here. That energy flux, it really holds me in an armbar. Skynet being down to 3 mana sources here. I think the idea was just to pay for the jet. And then at some point use it to get 4 mana if I want to put down a sushi or something. Just to block the factory. So this is very dangerous. The more he attacks, I'm getting down to 6 points of life. He can actually double bolt me if he has it. The closer we get to something dividable by 3, the worse it is. Okay, finally the 4th mana source. There's a sushi. You have to pay that as well though. Oh, he counters it. Good for him. Skynet is really getting pressured here, down to 4 points of life. There's a Sonic Blast. Oh man, I have 2 Triskelions and a balance in hand. Counterburn takes it. Blasting Skynet away here with a final Sonic Blast. That energy flux, man. Really a hard counter against robots. I don't experience that as much with Composition A. A hard counter like this. So that's the bad part about it. Okay, let's see. His hand, a bit difficult to see. Flying men and some fireballs and some mana. My hand, Twister, Counterspell, Animate Dead in 3 lanes. And I put an Animate Dead at the bottom of my library. I think he's mulligan down to 6 cards as well. So we both have Skynet on the play. Tundra, go. And that's that. Turn 1 Flying Men, as per usual. Out of you are Counterburn. Coming in for 1 here. Oh, and Time Walking. Pulling ahead here with a lane drop and another attack. Looks like a Send to be freed actually. Finally getting... Oh, I'm just countering it immediately. We don't want any of that. We don't want to all those creatures just to rush us down. And... Oh! That's disrespectful. There's an undead Ifrit. Though I don't suppose it's just the best creature. I mean, it pings me for 1 and only does 2 damage to the opponent because it's weakened. That's zombie Ifrit. But I suppose the energy flux won't touch it, and it keeps... If nothing else, it keeps that darn flying men off my back here. I do suppose the damage is the same. Oh, I'm doing it because I want to Time Twister. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, just emptying my hand. Oh, but... Oh, he shatters my Mox. Okay, fair enough. He has 2 bolts, though. Oh, so he double bolts me in response. Oh, man, that's brutal. Just emptying his hand like that. Advantage you are Counterburn here. Getting a full new hand. I actually think this might be a subtle misplay. I don't think I should Time Twister against him when he's untapped like that. He has so many instant speed spells in that deck. So as we saw here, he just shatters and double bolts me in response, and then his card advantage is immense. Putting Skynet down to 11 points of life, with a neutered Serendipity Freak pinging me each turn. Soft Plowsharing, the little guy, getting in for 2 with the Serendipity Freak. Yeah, we're against time here, being down to 11 points of life, and that Serendipity Freak is pinging me each turn, only doing 2 points of damage. We really need to get some damage in, because once we get within burn range, against a full new hand, he can actually really put the hurt on me. Yeah, now Chain Lightning. I think that Time Twister is really debatable, that play. Flying Men. Coming down. I'm getting pinged down to 7 points of life. 1 damage away from a double bolt here. A bit of a pickle. Okay, playing Sushi. Really, yeah, as I said, we're on the clock here. Okay, taking that back for some reason. We really need to attack with everything. Okay, attack him with the sushi. So it can't really block the little guy. Probably reckoning that I'll be within double bolt range no matter what I do. Sushi coming down. So he can fly over, ping me for 1, and the Serenity Befried will bring me to 5. Unless I can do something here. Casting balance. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm doing that in order to so I can get rid of my own Serenity Befried. Because I have 2 creatures and he only has 1. So I can keep the sushi and get rid of the Serenity Befried. Oh, but there's something here. He Sonic blasts me. I probably wanted to also wanted him to discard some cards in hand. At least he doesn't counter it. Okay, yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Getting rid of the Serenity Befried here. Keeping the sushi. He keeps his flying men. I'm down to 3 points of life. I wonder if I'll survive his next draw and his untap phase. Island. Okay, getting in for 2. What is this? Brain Geysers keeping a red mana untapped here. Brain Geysers for 3. He has used a bunch of bolts already, but I time twisted, so he should have a bolt, right? Okay, so she's coming in. Pretty heroic stuff out of Skynet here. Very lucky that I'm not bolted out of this game yet. Abyss coming down. Okay, will at least clean up that pesky little flying man. Another sushi. Okay, really going into overdrive here. That's 8 points. No, 10 points of damage next attack step. Man. Okay, does he have a bolt? I mean, he should probably. Oh yeah. Okay, he's doing that to get rid of my ability to cast a Triskelion. Otherwise, I could play that next turn and kill him. Another energy flux though. Oh, that's brutal. You have to pay 4 mana for each artifact. Keeping the factory untapped in case I can draw into a mana. Or if I have a mana in hand, I can play that and attack for 6 at least. No mana. Too bad. Getting in for 4 only. Okay, so that really postponed me again. And again, gives him another draw. That's a blocking factory. So now I can counterattack unless I draw into something so I can block his stuff. And I'm forced to attack because I can't. He'll likely let it in, right? Let's check my graveyard. He lets it in anticipation to be able to counterattack, but I did have an Underground Sea in hand, so I can play that. Now I can block his factory if he counterattacks. Really coming down to the wire. 2 factories now. Next turn he can attack twice. He does attack still. I block. Now if he pumps it, he can't block my sushi. Oh, this is really a pickle. And I pump myself. +1/+1. Yeah, what to do here? Does he want another draw? I mean, he can trade if he pumps his own factory. They'll kill each other, but then he'll die next turn if he can't remove my sushi. So doing it like this actually forces him to lose his attacking factory. Slight mistake that attack actually. It looked good on paper, but as the game evolves, it becomes apparent that that probably wasn't the correct choice. He should have stayed back with both. Now I attack. Now he is forced to block my sushi. Oh, what do we have here? Soft plowshares on his factory. So that'll net him 3 points of life, and the sushi will do 4. So he will be at 2. So he can survive. Does he get a bolt now? Or something? Time walking. Oh man. That's his end. A couple of counter spells. I suppose he could have countered my swords, but didn't do anything because it would still the sushi will only kill the factory then. So Skynet took the final game here. What a nail bite. That's a fireball, and that's a chain lightning. A couple of draws down. No, actually the next draw. Are you kidding me? Okay, so in all likelihood, this should have been a 2-2. I think I misplayed that time twister. Oh, it's not a fireball, it's a shatter. It could have shattered. Okay, he could have killed me after 2 draws. So yeah, but Skynet took this one 3-1. And we actually played another game after this one that's not on camera, and Skynet won that as well. So in essence, it's 4-1, but I think it's fair to say that Counterburn could have just as easily have won this one. I mean, he had so many bolts in that deck and didn't draw one when it really mattered, or Sonic Blast, or Fireball, or just anything really. So yeah, it could have been a 3-2. So really close matches here. I'm pretty confident against the Counterburn before sideboard, but those Energy Flux, man, they're pretty damn brutal. So yeah, I'll have to think a bit about how to handle those, but still, it's alright, I suppose. It could have gone way worse for Skynet in its first few forays against these hardcore decks here. So, thank you for watching this match. Next up, I've found another old game on another camera, on another phone, and that is the Reanimator deck from the Long Island Cup 3.0. So, I'll try to get that to work and put it up as soon as possible. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.